How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? Everybody good? Anybody need any special attention? No? All right. Good. Good. It's great news. What's up, Vince? David, Pastor Dave, Robert, No Limit Soldier? I thought I told you. Don't be intimidated by the rounds that my tank shoots, bud. Yep. Mink Coat. Barnes Homestead. Justin. Stephen of Houston. Because there's another Stephen that lives in Albuquerque, but you're the one that lives in Houston. Best tool record, whichever one you're listening to at the time. Yep. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Oh, that's right. We have a poll. Let's see what y'all want to do here. We didn't wait too long, do we? We got to hurry up and get this bet in. Y'all like Washington -6. Of course you do. Of course you do. All right, let's do it. Washington -6 first half. Bang. The bet is in. Washington -6 first half. Decaf coffee. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, the Army-Navy game was great. We watched it on Patreon today. That was a great game. Well, to be honest, it was kind of a boring game, but it came down to the end. It got exciting in the end with the fumble that wasn't a fumble, and there was 2 fumbles in one play. They're about to give away the Heisman Trophy, too, so y'all want to get your picks in on that. I think Jeremiah Love should win it. I think he's the best player in football this year, but I think Mendoza is going to win it. I think they're going to give it to Mendoza. If it was up to me, I'd give it to Jeremiah Love. Got the Heisman ceremony on now, and then we'll have Boise State versus Washington coming up. Mendoza. Lou wins the Heisman. Now, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? That would be amazing and unbelievable both at the same time. Poverty surprise winner. He had a good end of the season. He put up some video game numbers in his last couple of games of the year. Just giving a pointless speech right now before they pass out the award. Why does Julian Sayin wear lipstick? Does anybody know? He's got on lipstick and blush. Y'all see Julian Sayin? He's wearing lipstick and blush. I'm not judging or I'm just... Does anybody know why he does that? Here comes the winner. Fernando Mendoza. About the goofiest some bitch I've ever seen. But at least he's not wearing lipstick like Julian Sayin. You know, it all started a couple of years ago with the painting the fingernails thing with Caleb Williams, and now Ryan Williams does that too. But Julian Sayan's the only one I've seen with lipstick and blush. Are there any Ohio State fans in here? Is that something new that he's just doing for the Heisman ceremony, or has Julian Sayan always worn lipstick and blush? Does anybody know? Congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, this year's Heisman winner. Oh, he's from California. Okay. Well, I get it then. Are we going to get predictions for the playoffs? Yes. Yes, starting Monday. Mendoza, worst Heisman of the last 20 years. I don't know. I hear that every year. Last year when Travis Hunter won, he was the worst Heisman, and then whoever won the year before that was the worst Heisman before that. It's kind of like the Super Bowl halftime show. It really doesn't matter. People are just going to complain about it just because it's almost like a habit at this point. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, did y'all notice what I did with the top 15 shelf? So we got the playoff matchups going on the top 15 shelf. So yeah, James Madison and Oregon, Alabama and Oklahoma, Tulane and Ole Miss, Miami and Texas A&M. Then you got Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas Tech and Indiana here, and we'll fill it in. We'll fill it in as we go. Type of deal on that there with the deal on that there, like that and that. Now what's going on here? Can I fix this? Yes or no? Maybe. That'll be just fine for now. Weakest Heisman race in decades. Yeah, ever since the weakest since last year's. Last year's was the weakest. Now this year's is even weaker. Wait till you see next year's. It'll be even weaker than this year's and the worst ever. Mendoza a little long-winded in that. I about wrap this shit up, bud. Wrap this shit up, squid tard. We got an actual football game to watch, bud. Booty Sniper says, California, he must be from San Francisco. Who talking about Julian saying? Yes. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming out, man. We'll talk to you later, okay? Appreciate you dropping by. Pick the trophy up on the way out. Well, and thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, in order to win, you have to not lose. That is the key. That is the key. Dabo Swinney clued us in on that groundbreaking development a few weeks ago that in order to win, you have to not lose. Have no fear, the Norwegian is here. Dang. What's up, Matt? I love you, Woo. Go Dogs. I love you too, bud. I think the running back Love should have won. Watching from Vietnam, Reckham Tech. Oh man, wrap this shit up, man. If Josh Pate gave it out, everyone would win. Did y'all see Josh Pate's video called "How Many of the Playoff Teams Can Actually Win the National Title?" And then he spent the next 15 minutes saying that every team can win it. Please tell me y'all saw that. He had a video called "Which Playoff Teams Can Actually Win the National Title?" And then in the first 10 seconds of the video, he goes, "I know y'all are going to say I'm just straddling the fence, but I think they all could win it." Oh, man. All right, let's get this football game underway here. Enough of this bullshit. When someone wins, he'll say, "See, I told you so." Yeah. Oh, man. Damn, Josh Pate, man. Did you get a new computer chair? Yeah, a while ago. Yeah. Do you grill a lot, Lou? Not during the football season, no, because I normally grill on the weekends and I don't have time on the during football season to do it. Well, the spring is when I grill the most. March, April, May. That's when I grill the most. I wish Army would have pulled off the upset. Got close at the end. The fumbling deal at the end of that game was crazy with Navy, but they kept recovering their own fumbles, and then the one was ruled not a fumble. But that shit got wild there at the end. If Boise wins, our strength of schedule will improve, says a Notre Dame fan. Yeah, you might be able to crack the top 30, man. Wouldn't that be something? Notre Dame has one ranked win. Their second best win of the year is against the Service Academy. and they played 2 playoff teams and got beat by both of them. I'm over to Notre Dame crying. All right, here we go. Boise State and Washington in the LA Bowl, I think is what this is called. There's 10 people at the game. Yeah, I don't know how much sense it makes to do a bowl game, especially a low-level bowl game like this, in California, a place where nobody cares about college football. If your best case scenario for people showing up to these games is to either play the game near one of the campuses or play it somewhere in the country that actually cares about college football, which of course is not California. I think it's going to be UGA or maybe Ohio State. I think to win 3 straight top end talent will matter. Who's winning 3 straight? I don't know what you're. I don't know what that. I don't know what you mean there. I really don't know what you mean there. 3 straight what? Yeah, I forgot there was a bowl game today too. Somebody reminded me on Thursday. This is the last LA Bowl according to ESPN. It's not coming back next year. Winning 3 straight games in the playoffs. Oh, I thought you were talking about winning 3 straight natties. Who do you think Glover will get kicked off the team? If it's proven that Glover and Bo Walker were dumb enough to steal under $100 worth of merchandise from Walmart, and that's the end of the story, then they should both be kicked off the team for stupidity. Forget the fact that they committed a crime. If you're a college football player today and you're stealing under $100 worth of merchandise from Walmart, you're a fucking moron. And so if that's all there is to the story, that they stole under $100 worth of shit from Walmart, they should be kicked off the team. Here comes the coin toss. I mean, unless it comes out that, and this does happen all the time, people get stopped at Walmart for stealing, where they rung up $200 worth of shit and paid for it, but forgot to ring up a case of water or something on the bottom of the buggy. If that's what it was, then fine, whatever, misunderstanding. Anything other than that, they should be kicked off the team. If they were stealing from Walmart in the NIL age, they should be kicked off the team. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? How dumb and how stupid do you have to be? So it better be something like they rang up 20 things, paid for 20 things, but for some reason those items didn't scan or whatever the fuck. If it's not something like that, then they need to be kicked off the team. What's up, Zona Man? I heard they either forgot to scan it or didn't scan it, and they went back in to pay for it, and the manager called the cops. Well, I've heard that too, but only from Georgia fans on Twitter while arguing with other people. There's no report that says that. There's no article that says that. There's no police report that says that. So I don't know. I know that does happen at Walmart all the time. I was somewhere. I don't think it was Walmart. I think it was the grocery store. Anyway, I was somewhere at a self-checkout thing, and I had stuff in the buggy, and I would, you know how you scan it, you put it over where the bag is. You grab something else, you scan it, you put it over. I was doing that, and one of the workers came up to me while I was still scanning the stuff and said, "Hey, that didn't scan." Something that I thought I had scanned and already set over on by the bags, and they picked it up and rescanned it, and that was the end of it. But I don't know if that's what happened with the Georgia players, and I've got no idea. All I know is they were arrested for shoplifting at Walmart. That's all I know. Big return from Boise State across the 40. Tripped up and out of bounds at the 44, but a huge return to start the game for Boise State. Persona, I believe, Love edged it out for the Heisman, but Mendoza absolutely deserved it as well. Congrats to him and his family, says Being Supreme. Everyone wants to hate on bowl season, but for a lot of these athletes, it's the highlight of their careers. If not for the money, at least the kids. Keep them for the kids, not money, I mean. Well, I do kind of feel bad for seniors who don't have a shot at all in the NFL. And, you miss an opportunity to play one more football game, maybe. Second and 7 for Boise State. First possession of the game. They're on their own 47 after a really good kickoff, kick return. Now we've got a flag. Both sides moved, so we got to wait and see who moved first here. Offense or defense? Looks like defense. Yeah, offsides on Washington. So instead of 2nd and 7, it's going to be 2nd and 2 now. Do you have an all-time least favorite coach? Mine is Steve Spurrier. All-time least favorite coach. I don't know. I don't think I have an all-time least favorite coach. I mean, you talking about like at Georgia? I mean, Georgia's only had 5 coaches in my lifetime: Vince Dooley, Ray Goff, Jim Donnan, Mark Richt, and Kirby. My least favorite of those is Ray Goff. I'm close. First down for Boise after that pass completion. They're on the 34 now of Washington. They're going to hand it off here. Breaks one tackle. Gets down to the 31. Gain of about 3 or 4. Second down coming up now for Boise. Lou, do you think Kendall Browse is a good offensive coordinator hire for South Carolina? I don't know. Second and 7. Another handoff. Nowhere to go this time. Hitting the hole and drop for no gain. Going to be 3rd and 7. UJ versus Indiana in the Natty. Could be. John Dickens, thank you for the super chat. At least they're not playing on that damn blue field. I wouldn't be watching it if they were playing on that blue field. I can't watch that shit. 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Boise State. They're on the Washington 30. 3 wide to the bottom. Snap. Back to throw. Flags everywhere. Looks like holding. Quarterback scrambles and slides for a first down, but there's flags in the backfield. Let's see. Illegal motion on Boise State. So that's going to wipe off that first down, make it 3rd and long now. My favorite all-time coach is Billy Napier. Florida's going to miss what they had. Should have kept that guy forever. Yeah, right. Florida's moved on from Billy Napier. Florida fans have. Now they're on to hyping up every assistant coach that they hire like they're the greatest assistant coach or position coach of all time. You know, like they hire some offensive line coach and, you know, it's like, boom, you know, like best offensive line in the world now. You know, a million tweets about how great they're going to be because of whatever offensive line coach they hired and shit. That's what they're up to right now. Over celebrating every position coach hire that Summerall makes. Lou, I'm going to the Music City Bowl. Let's hope what remains of the Vols defense. It's starting to piss me off now. Let's hope what's rest of the Vols defense can slow Altmaier down. Last year, that was South Carolina played Illinois last year. That was one of the best bowl games of the entire bowl season. Field goal for Boise State is up and good. So Boise State settles for a field goal after a long kick return. Gave them great starting field position. And Washington will have the ball after we come back from the commercial break. It's too early to say who's the bigger crybaby between 23 Florida State and 25 Notre Dame. We got to wait and see how long the Notre Dame fans cry about it. Not only is Michigan a better job than Ohio State, it's the best job in the country. Go Blue. DeBoer will lead us to a natty. It's not the best job in the country, and it's 100% not the best job in the country right now. I don't know who the fuck wants to take a job there while they're what is this they're doing? An internal investigation to figure out why it is that their athletic department is so crooked? What the fuck? What is going on up there, man? They launched an internal investigation into their own athletic department to figure out why it's been so crooked for the last 5 years. Michigan sold their soul for a natty, now cursed. Might be some truth to that. There might be some truth to that. For the coffee fund, woo. Merry Christmas. By the way, going to Tool in Columbus in May. Have they announced a tour? I want to go see them. I want to go see Tool again. Florida's hiring philosophy. Group of 5 till we die. Yes. Yes. That sounds about right. Should there be a scoring system that demotes and promotes teams in and out of the Power Four? No. Could the NCAA even do anything if there was some wrongdoing on Michigan's part? Hope Miami can beat Ohio State so UJ can tee off on Beck. I went and seen Yellow Wolf. All right, Boise State set to kick it off here. They got the ball first. Great kick return for them. Brought it out to around midfield. They picked up a first down and 2 and then settled for a field goal. They're up 3-0. This will be Washington's first possession coming up here. Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. Did Wagway win the Heisman? Asking for a friend. He didn't even win one Heisman. Remember, he was supposed to win 4 or 5 this year. He ended up not winning any. I hope Ohio State beats Miami by 50 so we can send them back into irrelevancy again for another 20 years. Well, Ohio State might not play Miami. All right, 1st and 10, Washington. Back to throw. Under pressure, quarterback's going to scramble and then slide after a gain of about 3. Ohio State also started helmet stickers because they wanted to be like us. They look dumb with a helmet with just stickers on it. Thank you, Michigan man. What's up, David? I haven't bet any bowl games yet, so I don't know what I'm betting on the bowl games. Can't bet the bowl games till I know who's quitting. A handoff on 2nd and 7 only picks up a couple of yards, and it's going to be 3rd down now for Washington. Any movie recommendations? I haven't seen any movies in a while. I've been watching some series. I've been watching Landman, and I've been watching Tulsa King. They're both good, so I recommend both of those. But I haven't seen any movies in a while. Third and 5, pass complete behind the line of scrimmage, but he gets upfield for a first down across the 35. 1st and 10, Washington, coming up on 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Do I like the wife on Landman? Fuck no. Does anybody like her? That's the most annoying ass bitch. Why the fuck he took her back is beyond me. He did not need that fucking aggravation. Nobody needs that aggravation. I don't know why he took her back. That bitch is annoying as fuck. All right, 1st and 10, Washington up near midfield. They've got 3 wide here. Snap. They run the option, pitches it, breaks a tackle, first down and then some. All the way down around the Boise State 30. Big gain on the ground that time from Washington on a speed option. They ran it out of the shotgun. Quarterback pitches the ball, broke a tackle and was gone up the sideline. Washington in business now down near the red zone. 1st and 10, just under 9 minutes to go. Going deep into the end zone, overthrown and incomplete. Went for a touchdown there. Going to be 2nd and 10. A hot Miami could be dangerous, comes down to Beck. I would give Miami approximately a 0% chance of beating 4 top 10 teams in a row. A handoff on 2nd and 10 doesn't go anywhere. It's going to be, well, he might have gained a yard. 3rd and about 9 now for Washington. Outside of the G5 teams, OU and Bama are the easiest teams to beat. Yeah, Miami, Oklahoma, and Bama, I don't think have much of a shot at all. I mean, I guess if you're in the playoffs, you have some shot, like, but 1%. But Oklahoma, Bama, and Miami aren't winning a natty. Pass complete for Washington, and they pick up the first down. Tight-roped along the sideline, but did pick it up. 8:07 to go. Washington in the red zone, down 3-0. Another handoff. Runs into a brick wall. No gain. 2nd and 10 at the 18. Michigan man dumb. Even as a Penn State fan, Ohio State has an iconic helmet, maybe even the most recognizable one. They look great when filled with stickers, says Adam. Definitely agree with the first part of your comment there. Michigan man might be dumb. You might be right there. Might be right. Quarterback draw. Swallowed alive for a loss. All the way back at the 21. Going to be 3rd and oblivion now for Washington. James Madison's going to beat Oregon by a field goal. But he typed it in all capital letters, so I think we all know what's going on there. Third and 13. Snap. Scrambles left. Gonna run. Makes a man miss and picks up the first down. Wow. Needed 13 and gained 14 on the QB scramble. Keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 Washington, deep in the red zone. They're reviewing the spot on that last play to see if he picked up the first down. Vanderbilt should have been in over James Madison. Well, I mean, you don't know how the playoff structure works. It was impossible for Vandy to get in over James Madison. Texas Tech would BTA to Indiana. Agree, Uncle Lou. I mean, could they beat them? Maybe, but I don't know about blowing them out or whatever you're talking about there. I think Indiana's legit. They're still reviewing that spot. 6:04 to go. Texas Tech needs to worry about Oregon first before they even mention Indiana. All right, they upheld it. It's going to be 1st and goal inside the 10 for Washington. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. They're on the 7-yard line. Under center this time. Snap. Play action. Out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Top 4 are legit for sure, and Ole Miss, Kiffin would be legit, but he's gone, so maybe Oregon, but I doubt it. Cash Jones winning the Heisman. Unlikely, since they gave out the Heisman 20 minutes ago. 2nd and goal now. On the Boise 7. Under center again. Snap. Hands it off this time. Spin move, nowhere to go. Might have lost a yard. 3rd and goal coming up now. Pat Fitzgerald, now Michigan State coach, was Heisman-worthy linebacker. Big Ten is a trash can. They win 3 natties every 10 years. Back to throw on 3rd and goal. Going to be sacked all the way back at the 15. So good Boise State defense in the red zone is going to force a Washington field goal here on 4th down from about the 15. Vols would hang half 100 on Oregon, ? No. Have you watched any football this year? Kick is up. Kick is good. And we're all tied at 3. That's 3 more than your last one, Tennessee man. 1998. Thank you, Adam, for the super chat. Brian says, Dabo speak. In order to win, you have to not lose. In order to cheat, you have to be a Michigan man. Well, I don't think you have to be a Michigan man to cheat. There's been plenty of cheaters that weren't Michigan men, but it seems like if you're a Michigan man, you're probably going to cheat. I don't answer questions that Google can answer, Dylan. Anyone figure out what being a Michigan man means? I coach hard and love harder. Sharon Moore. I've never thought Indiana would be this good in my lifetime. Impressive what Cignetti is doing up there. Yeah, it's impressive is an understatement. It's unbelievable what he's done there in 2 years. Unbelievable. Commercial break on the game, all tied at 3 after Washington tied it up with that field goal. What's up, Puck? With NIL now, anything is possible for coaches. Here's the kickoff. And it's going to go into the end zone, and they will take a knee for a touchback. So Boise State will have the ball. Each team's had the ball once. And each team has kicked a field goal, and that's where we're at, 3-3 here in the first quarter. Nothing doing on first down for Boise State. Short gain of a yard or two. Second down coming up now. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Indiana made the playoffs 2 times before Florida made it once. Damn, that is bad. That is really bad. Curious to see how much NIL money Signetti can take from basketball. Basketball? Empty backfield on 2nd and 9. 5 wide for Boise State. They're on the 27-yard line. Back to throw. Caught underneath and tackled right away. Gain of about 7. 3rd and 2 coming up now for Boise. Lou is like the modern day Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. Third and 2. Boise State lined up in an I formation. You don't see a lot of this anymore. Motion. Snap. Play action. Throws. Caught with room to run across the 45. Out of bounds near midfield. First down Boise State on an underneath crosser. How was the Army-Navy game? I mean, it was kind of boring. I don't like that style of football anymore, the triple option deal. So it was kind of boring in that respect, but it did get exciting in the last 5 minutes or so. It would be outside my preview. I think you mean purview, but you said preview. I'm just going to read it like you said it. It'd be outside my preview to tell Uncle Lou what to do. But can we make a 5-star dummy Hall of Fame with Sharon Moore as an inaugural inductee? No. But thank you for the super chat. Nicholas DePerno says, all jokes aside about Florida or Auburn, whose program do you think will turn around faster? I mean, I guess it... What do you mean by turn around? Like, which one will go to the playoff? Which one will get to 8 wins? Which one will make a bowl game? I mean, we got to wait and see what both of them do in the portal. I mean, you're asking me to make a prediction on 2 teams. I don't even know who's going to be on the team. In a lot of cases, we don't even know the staff, the full staff for the team. We don't know the rosters. It's hard to make any type of predictions right now about any team for next year. Intercepted. Big return. 40, 35, down at the 34. Bad decision from the Boise State quarterback. Floated one over the middle and it got picked off. And a pretty good return is going to set Washington up with good field position here. So a promising drive for Boise State ends in disaster. First turnover of the game comes with 1:09 to go in the first quarter. Game tied at 3, but now Washington's going to be in business here. I don't think he saw him. Yeah, he threw it right to him. I don't even think he saw him. The Celebration Bowl was incredible at noon on ABC. I don't even know what that is. But I believe you, though. I'll take your word for it, though. I think Florida made the better hire, but Auburn has fewer things they have to fix. Either way, I get to watch two rivals struggle. I think they play next year, too, don't they? Don't Florida and Auburn play this year coming up? I haven't really looked into the schedules yet that came out the other day, but I think they play this year. Having only one bye week next year is brutal. Well, we normally only have one. Uh, it's unusual to have two. First time since 2011. Well, the first time there since 2011. Since 2011, yeah. Yeah, first time Florida's played at Auburn since 2011, but they have played one other time since then, I think in 2018 or 2019. Ashtonian, Gent, Worthington, Smithton carried that group of drag queens to the playoffs. Boise State are drag queens? Breaking news here on the Uncle Lou Show. Commercial break following that interception. The old SEC East is so much better than the West, it's not even funny. Yeah, divisions were the only thing propping up the SEC West. As soon as divisions went away, we saw what the real deal was there. Pretty obvious. It's funny. Everybody said Georgia was only good because the SEC East wasn't any good. And then as soon as we got rid of divisions, Georgia's won the SEC every single year. I'm off work till the second week in January. Damn, man. I bet that's a good feeling. Not me. Not me. I'm not complaining though because after January 20th, I'll have too much off time. So I'm not going to complain, but I got about another 6 weeks to grind it out here before I get any downtime. The only reason I missed divisions is because it didn't make any sense to add teams to these leagues and do away with divisions. The reason we started divisions in the first place is because the conferences had gotten too big. Then we add more teams and do away with the divisions. So, I mean, you know, the Big Ten's got 18 teams, you know. The SEC's got 16. The ACC's got 17. It's too many teams. You need divisions to split up the scheduling, but you know, they're way smarter than we are. Every single one of you are lucky Notre Dame got left out. Yeah. We're lucky we get to see you cry for the next 6 months. Just like Alabama fans last year, Florida State fans the year before that, and it'll be some other fan base next year. Hell, it might be you again next year. Long. Well, you got to catch that, buddy. Washington receiver should have caught that there. Would have been down inside the 10-yard line, but he dropped it. You got to make that catch, Woozy. He's on the Woozy list. Looking like a Woozy out there, bud. 3rd and 10 now for Washington. Trying to capitalize on that interception. Let's see if they can do it. They're on the 34-yard line, just within field goal range. And they're, well, not anymore. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss of about 5 or 6 yards. So now it's going to be 4th and oblivion. And I don't even think they're in field goal range now. Tennessee man got a baller coming in next year with Brandon Faison. Pull up the record. Pull up UGA's record against the SEC West the last 10 years. I don't think you want me to do that because UGA has a winning record against the SEC West in the last 10 years. They beat Auburn every single year, and they beat every other team in the West they played every single year, with the exception of Alabama. And they've only played Alabama, what, 7 times? So I don't know what their record against the West in the last 10 years is. Probably something like 20-10. I mean, I'm not surprised you don't have any idea what you're talking about, but I promise you don't want me to look that record up. It won't work out like you thought it would. I mean, they beat Auburn and went in 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, and 16. So that's 10 wins just against Auburn in the last 10 years. The only teams they've lost to from the West was Ole Miss twice. Every other team from the West they played, they beat, with the exception of Alabama, which is 7. So, yeah, it's something like 20-10. $20 and 10 is not below 500, moron. That's above 500. 20-10 would be like a 66% winning percentage. $25 and 12. Yeah, way over 50%, if that's right. Looks like you were wrong, bud. I'm up right now for the week. I'm up. Well, let's see what we're up. It's not much. I'm up 252 for the week. Up 252. Washington has to punt, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. That loss on 3rd down knocked them out of field goal range, so they're going to punt it and play defense. Boise State will have the ball after the touchback. How about keep Notre Dame out of your mouth, especially Lou? How about you shut the fuck up? How about I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it except type in my comments section, which is all you're good at anyway. Type for me, bitch. Type. First and 10, Boise State on their own 20. Still tied at 3. Second quarter just underway. Back to throw on first down. Over the middle, batted down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Going to be second and 10. The committee got it right. We weren't good enough. We had 2 chances and lost both. Congrats to everyone who got in. Go Irish and stay humble, says Rudy No Bowls. Yeah, I do think the committee got it right. It's got nothing to do with Notre Dame not being good enough or not. It's just there was no room for Notre Dame to get in. It's just like with Vandy. I don't know if Vandy's one of the best 10 or 12 teams or not. I mean, Vandy's got qualifications to be in too, but there's no room for them to get in. It's just that's what it was with Notre Dame. You couldn't put them over Miami, so there was just no way for Notre Dame to get in. It's literally that simple. Literally that simple. Resumes were almost identical between Notre Dame and Miami. They had the same record and Miami beat them. So it's literally that simple. As far as the Notre Dame versus Alabama argument goes, Alabama was 10-2 and beat 2 top 10 teams. Notre Dame was 10-2 and lost to the only 2 top 10 teams they played. Notre Dame has 1 ranked win all year. One ranked win. The second best win of the season for Notre Dame was against a service academy. And they played 2 top 10 teams and lost to them both. So there's just, they don't win a resume argument with anybody else on the bubble. So that's why they're not in. And I think the committee got it right in the end. The process was fucked up. They never should have gave Notre Dame false hope. Miami should have been ranked ahead of them the whole time. Boise State goes 3 and out and punts it away. Miami should have been ahead of Notre Dame the whole time, which I guess is a problem. But to me, it's more important that they get it right in the end than getting it right in week 12 or 13. And they did get it right in the end. Ryan Day is 48-7 versus Big Ten teams. That's dominant. Yeah, Ryan Day's got the highest winning percentage of any college football coach in history. Hey, Lou, thanks for the coverage. Hey, what's up, Eddie? Hispaniel Daniel, what's up, buddy? Notre Dame's only ranked win is the same as Illinois, Southern Cal. That's right. And their second best win, Notre Dame's second best win was against a service academy. A handoff. Little bit of a crease, picks up about 4 yards. Second down coming up for Washington. Still tied at 3, 13:40 to go in the first half. Lou should do an awards show next season. We could do Uncle Lou's Woozy Awards. On the ground on second down, goes nowhere. Third down coming up now for Washington. We could do the Woozy Awards. You know, we could give out awards for losers and like the worst of things instead of the best of things. Everybody else does that. Best running back, best wide receiver, best coach, Heisman. We could do the worst. It could be the Uncle Lou's Woozy Awards. Back to throw on third down. Under pressure again. Wants to scramble, but not enough room. Gets up to the 35. That's it, but it's going to be 4th and 4. And they're going to go 3 and out. So back-to-back 3 and outs. Now one from each team. Trading possessions here at the start of the second quarter. Washington and Ohio State. Ohio State. Washington and Boise State tied at 3. Jeremiah Love only had 46 first place votes. Well, no, he only had, what, 12 or 1,300 yards? I mean, that's good. But compare that to the last running back that won the Heisman. I mean, his numbers really weren't comparable to previous Heisman winning running backs. Notre Dame would smoke Georgia like we always do. You're 1-3 against Georgia all time. 1-3. Commercial break now. Ohio, I'd rather live in hell than live there. Yeah, I've got no interest in living in Ohio either. But there's a lot of places I don't have any interest in living in, to be honest. Who is the woozy quarterback of the year? It would have to go to either Cade Klubnik, Dew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, or DJ Lagway. It would go to one of those four. It would be one of these quarterbacks that was shoved down our throats in the offseason that ended up being total dog shit. Those would be the four finalists for quarterback woozy of the year. Aller, Klubnik, Nussmeier, Lagway. Ryan Day sucks. Even more would win at Ohio State. Good players will always go there. Every good wide receiver. Yeah, none of that you typed is true, but thank you for the super chat. Would I live in Macon, Georgia? Fuck no. No. The only places in Georgia I would live would be where I live now, Savannah, or Atlanta. And when I say Atlanta, not actually Atlanta, but a suburb, Marietta, something like that. I wouldn't live in the city of Atlanta proper. I'd live in a suburb of Atlanta, though. So a suburb, I'd either where I'm at now, a suburb of Atlanta, or the Savannah area. Those are the only three places I'd live in Georgia. Sorry, I'm late, Lou. I'm here now, though. All right, let me cross you off here because I had already marked you as absent. Where's my pen? Here it is. All right. I had already marked you as absent, but I'm going to cut you a break today, and I'm just going to change it to tardy. All right. You're good, bud. Would you live anywhere in Florida? No. I wish it would break off and float away. And it is. At some point, that is going to happen. I don't know if we'll live long enough to see it, but at some point, a hurricane's going to hit in the right place, and that's going to be it. It's going to float down and end up somewhere down there by Cuba. If a coach wins 8 and 9 games at Ohio State, we're not settling for that. We expect the best of the best up here. High standards is why we win. Maybe we can schedule Navy 2 or 3 times next year, says Rudy No Bowls. You don't need to. Have you seen your schedule? It's absolute dog shit. Notre Dame only plays 3 road games next year. It's at Purdue, at Syracuse, and at Boston College. Then they play Wisconsin, fucking Stanford again. I mean, it's Southern Cal and Miami are the only 2 even close to decent teams that Notre Dame plays next year. Have you heard of Mary Persons High School? I don't think so. Lou moved to California. No. Valdosta, Georgia isn't too bad to live. Notre Dame plays babies every year. Love the hate. I don't hate Notre Dame. I mean, you look at next year's schedule and tell me how many of those games, as a fan, you're excited to watch. I mean, it's just a terrible schedule. Ever thought about moving to Vegas? Yes, I have. 3rd and 7 for Boise State. They're on their own 30. Shotgun and 3 wide. Snap, back to throw. Looking right, throws right. Oh, stripped away. Nearly made the catch. DB with a good play, stripped it away. Falls incomplete. 4th and 7. We're going to have our 3rd straight 3 and out now. Vegas woo would be hell. Sit down somewhere, Lou. Damn, no. Don't tell me what to do. Lou, do you live anywhere close to Atlanta or Athens? I'm about an hour and a half from both. From I'm about an hour and a half from Athens and about an hour and a half from Atlanta. Vegas sucks in the summer. Well, it's hot, but it doesn't suck. But it is hot. I've been there plenty of times in the summer. It is hot, but it feels better in Vegas when it's 110 degrees than it feels here when it's 90 degrees. There's no humidity there. And let's be honest, it's not like I'm digging ditches 40 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with the heat. Move to Phoenix, Lou. I would consider Arizona. I've never been to Arizona, so I'd have to visit some places there first before really considering moving there. But I would consider Arizona. It would be on the list of places I would consider living. Arizona would. Stay away from Albany. Albany, Georgia? Yeah, it's a fucking armpit. All right. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I wouldn't live in Texas. Yeah, I've never even been to Arizona. I mean, I'm sure it's really nice. I mean, but I just as far as it's on the list of places I would consider living. But I mean, before you move anywhere, you got to spend some time there, and I haven't spent any time in Arizona. Moved to Austin, Texas. No. What 5 states would I consider? Oh, I don't know. Obviously Georgia, um, Nevada, Arizona, Tennessee is on the bubble. Um, there's some real shitholes in Tennessee though, um, but there's no state income tax there. Um, well, I'll say this: I've never been anywhere in Tennessee that I would live, but I haven't. There's a lot of places in Tennessee I've never been. I mean, I've been to Pigeon Forge. I've been to the tourist places in Tennessee. I would never live in any of those places, but there might be if I found the right place in Tennessee, I would consider that. Do you like North Carolina? The only place I've ever been in North Carolina is Charlotte, and I actually love Charlotte. I don't know that I would live in Charlotte, but North Carolina. Well, North Carolina's not on the list of places I won't live, but it's not on the list of places I necessarily would live either. I'd have to spend some more time there. There's nothing about North Carolina right now that I can think of that I go, no, I'm not living there. All right, let's see if we can get some offense going here. Each team kicked a field goal on their first possession. Since then, it's been nothing but 3-and-outs. Punt, 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 punt. There was an interception thrown in there, too. But 3-3 is still the score. We need Washington to score a touchdown here for our first half bet. What did we have first half? Was it Washington -6 in the first half? What was the comment section bet? Well, I can just look it up. Washington -6 in the first half. So we really need a Washington touchdown for the comment section bet. They're on their own 22 here, 2nd and 6. Play action. Under pressure again. Sidesteps it. Now goes deep. Wall wide open. He's going to walk it. What in the world happened to the defense? Sometimes I exaggerate and I say, wow, there wasn't anybody within 20 yards of that guy. This is legitimate. This guy caught this ball on about the 15 or 20-yard line. There wasn't a Boise State player anywhere within 20 yards, at least. So I don't know what happened. That was obviously a busted coverage there. I mean, this guy was in his own zip code. Well, that was good timing. As soon as we talked about needing a touchdown, Washington goes ahead and scores one for us. But that was some serious blown coverage there. Now Notre Dame fans are crying about the Heisman. Please tell me you're joking and they're not all over Twitter crying about the Heisman. Is that ESPN's fault? Whose fault is it? That must be ESPN's fault too. Lou Augusta is home for you. No place like home. Oh yeah, I'm not itching to get out of Augusta. I do have a desire kind of to live somewhere else for some amount of time during my lifetime. I've only ever lived here. And I love it here. My whole family is here. You know, like my dad is still here. My brother is here with his wife and kids. Obviously, my kids are here. The ladies' kids are here. You know, I don't have like some burning desire to just get the fuck out of Augusta. I don't know if I want to die having never lived anywhere else. You know, even if wherever I go, I just go for a year or 2 years or something and find my way back here after some amount of time. But I don't know. I just feel like I owe it to myself to live somewhere else for some amount of time. But before I put any serious thought or anything into that, both I'd have to wait on both my kids to be out of school. I'm not leaving here when I got school age kids. Now my daughter's out of school already. She's in college, but my son's got this year and another year. My son's a junior in high school. No way I'm leaving with a kid in high school. Jed Fish is one of my most underrated head coaches, in my honest opinion. I like Jed Fish. I like Dillingham. Um, Whittingham's out of a job. The Utah coach stepped down. I guess he's retiring, although he made it a point to not say he's retiring, that he's just stepping down as Utah's head coach. Here's a pass complete from Boise State on first down for a gain of 8. Going to be 2nd and 2. 10-3 to score. Washington up. Finally have our first touchdown of the game just a minute ago there with a long bomb from Washington, about a 70-yarder. Coming up on 9 minutes to go in the first half. Boise State with the ball down 7, looking at a 2nd and 2. I lived in Japan for 2 years. It was great. Yeah, I would love to live. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've got the balls to move overseas. I wish I did, but I don't know that I could do that. I don't know that I could do that. I don't like cold, so I'd not move anywhere north. Yeah, I'm not doing that either. I'm not moving anywhere where it's cold for 4, 5, 6 months. Like I'm not. I'm not doing that either. I have to live in a warm environment. Why did BYU get penalized but not Bama? Because BYU lost to the same team twice. Bama lost to a team that they previously beat. And you can't take a team that's in the playoffs and then knock them out of the playoffs for losing their conference championship game, not in a 12-team playoff. If you do that, that would be the end of conference championship games. So BYU wasn't in the playoffs before they lost. So knocking them down a spot or two didn't hurt them any. Bama lost to Georgia, but they also beat Georgia. Bama's got 2 top 10 wins. BYU doesn't have any. I will be moving to Nevada. Mountains in the summer, Death Valley in the winter. Third and 2. Boise State picks up the first down out close to midfield. Coming up on 7 minutes to go now in the first half. 10-3 to score. Burgle's in the living room. Yeah, Burgle's in the living room. What about Vandy? What about him? First and 10, screen pass, gain of 7. Good looking drive here for Boise State. I'd moved back to Knoxville before I went back to Chicago. Yeah, I do want to visit Chicago. I've never been there, but there's no way I would live there. Too cold in the winter. Second and 5 now for Boise across midfield. A handoff again. This time picks up 3, maybe 4. It's going to be third and short now for Boise State. Did they get screwed? Did who get screwed? Lou likes the Longhorns. What? Parlays aren't bad if you make your own lines. What? Parlays are always a bad bet. Third and 1. Pass. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 1. Probably going to go for it here. They're in a no man's land here across midfield. Probably going to go for it on 4th and 1. Tennessee man, you should be talking. Lou, check out Puget Sound area next to Seattle. It's absolutely beautiful. At least once in a while, I spend a summer there. I don't know about spending a whole summer there, but I've never been anywhere in the Northwest. I would like to visit up there. Of course, parlays hit every day. So do lottery tickets. Both are terrible bets. Ooh, I don't think he got it. I think he's a little short. Might be a turnover on downs. They're probably going to review it, but they marked it short. Didn't you visit Ohio State when Fields was there? Was it a dump or not bad? It's very industrial looking, the Ohio State campus. I mean, there's literally like a power plant a block from the stadium. Now it's massive. The campus is massive. There's this huge hospital I wouldn't classify it as a dump, but it's very industrial looking. Explain why Georgia is ducking Louisville. That was a mutual decision between Georgia and Louisville because both conferences are going to 9 conference games. Georgia had 13 games scheduled. I'm not sure if you know the rules of college football or not, but you're only allowed to play 12 regular season games. Georgia had 13. Georgia and Louisville had 13 games scheduled. So it wasn't just Georgia canceling or just Louisville canceling. That was a mutual thing for both teams to get down to 12 games. And both teams already had another Power 4 opponent on their schedule. Louisville had Kentucky, and Georgia had Georgia Tech. And you're not allowed to play 13 games in the regular season. I don't know if you knew that. You might have, but you might not have. Commercial break on the game. Columbus smells like hot garbage. Lou, why is Juice Poot so scared to talk about Sharon getting arrested? Details? I have no. Have you tried asking him? I have no idea. I would have loved if Georgia played 11 Power 4 games next year. That's 11 games I'd actually watch. There will be some years where they play 11. They're going to play 10 every year because of the 9 conference games in Georgia Tech. And there will be some years where they play 11. Vandy fans crying. I really haven't seen any Vandy fans crying. I can confirm they shit on the sidewalk in Eugene. Oh.
Extra.
Thank you. Y'all eat honeydew melon? Because I do. Yeah, they definitely shit on the sidewalk in Oregon. There's news articles about it. Just Google Oregon shitting on the sidewalk. There's literally news articles about how they had to set aside tax money to go towards the removal of human waste from sidewalks. I love honeydew melon. All right, the call was upheld, so it's a turnover on downs. With 4:59 to go, Washington takes over on their own 43. Shotgun, snap, back to throw. Caught on a deep out route, picks up about 15, 16 yards, first down, Washington. All right, 1st and 10 on the Boise 41. A handoff this time. Tough run down to the 35, gain of about 6. Who do you think are the worst college towns? Oh, I haven't been to enough to say the worst. I mean, the worst college town I've been to is Columbia, South Carolina. And it's not even really because, going deep again, overthrown. It's not even really because Columbia is all that bad. I mean, it is bad. But I don't like college towns that are in the middle of, if you've ever been to South Carolina's campus, it's in the middle of downtown Columbia. I just don't like that for a college town. I like the small, middle of nowhere college towns. Like, I've been to Auburn's campus, and as much as I hate Auburn, that's a great campus. Alabama, a little less nice than Auburn, but still okay. Gainesville, the Florida campus, is nice. Athens is nice. Georgia Tech's another one I don't like because it's in the middle of downtown Atlanta, and I just don't think I don't like college towns that are in the middle of downtown of huge cities. But Georgia Tech is better than South Carolina. The Georgia Tech campus is better than the South Carolina campus because Atlanta is better than Columbia, obviously. Going for gold. Thank you for the super chat. Got a skedaddle, Uncle Lou. Just have to say I enjoyed my evening as usual and have fun. I think the chat needs mental institution. It's normal. Thank you, Going for Gold. Enjoy the rest of your night, bud. Washington back down inside the 10-yard line again. 1st and goal. Looks like we're going to hit the chat bet for the first half. Shout out to the comments section. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but the comment section bet was Washington -6 in the first half. There's another touchdown. It's going to be 17-3 with 156 to go. So looking pretty good on the comment section, Bet. I have to say. Boy, that honeydew melon was good. Here come the extra point. Good. 17-3. Washington opening up a can here on Boise State. How's the pay Lou movement this week? Right now we are up $252. And we're about to win another 100. Because we've got Washington -6 in the first half. Honeydew or watermelon? I prefer watermelon. Hard to find watermelon this time of year, but I do like watermelon better than honeydew melon. But honeydew melon's really good too. I like honeydew melon better than cantaloupe. Favorite mascots? I like Brutus, the duck, and UGA. Which duck are you talking about? You talking about Oregon's duck or Miami's duck? Because Miami's got a duck for a mascot too. Miami's not a duck. Yeah, it is. Look. See? Right here. Duck. Yeah, the Stanford tree is hilarious. Ibis. No. It's supposed to be an ibis, but it's clearly not. Look, I know it's supposed to be an ibis, but it's not. See, that's a duck. See, I'll show you what an ibis looks like. See, that's what an ibis looks like. That's an ibis. You're telling me that what you're seeing on the screen right now looks like that to you? Take off this jersey and remove the word hurricanes and show anybody on the planet this mascot and ask them what it is. They're all going to say the same thing. 100 out of 100 people will say, oh, that's a duck. Because that's what it is. It's a duck. Oregon duck looks better. Yeah, if you want to make fun of the Oregon mascot, you got to find that dumb one they did. What was that? What was that stupid one they did? This one. When they did this shit here. Remember Mandrake? The fucking shit. That motherfucker came out of a goddamn egg. Oh my God, no wonder y'all shit on the sidewalk, man. What the fuck was that? God damn. Boise State QB, ball tipped, incomplete. Gonna be 2nd and 15. 1 minute and 50 seconds to go in the first half. 17-3 is your score. Is Jerome Moore a 5-star dummy? Yes. Yes, he is. He's a 5-star dummy who just lost half of his worldly possessions and 50% of his money. Intercepted. I don't know what Boise State was doing there, but speaking of 5-star dummies, you can put Boise State's quarterback on that list. What in the fuck was he doing there? That pass looked like a punt. Well, I don't know what he was doing there. Washington's going to have a chance to add to their lead here at the end of the first half. How many more years until bowl season goes away? Within the next decade? Yeah, it's hanging by a string right now. It has been for the last few years. Second and 15 for Washington. Complete. First down and out of bounds inside the 15. Or inside the 20, near the 15. The same string that pulls Florida up. First and 10, Washington in the red zone, up 17-3. Wouldn't hurt my feelings if they scored again. I took the over. Here comes a run. Get in there. Down inside the 5 and out of bounds. Going to be first and goal. Washington with 1:22 to go. I think it's over 51. What do I have? No, I've got over 53. So I definitely need all the points I can get. First and goal on the 3. Shotgun, 3 wide to the bottom. Back to throw. Into the end zone. Fade. Touchdown, Washington, making it look easy. It's going to be 24-3. It's going to be 24-3. This is going to be a shellacking. That's a great word. Shellacking. I will definitely root for Indiana. I love their QB Mendoza. I don't know about rooting for Indiana. If I'm going to, Georgia's in the playoffs, so I kind of need to root for them. As far as rooting for any other team in the playoffs, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to see Ole Miss do well, because I do feel bad for the Ole Miss players. The problem is they play Georgia in the second round, so I can't really pull for Ole Miss. But if Ole Miss wasn't playing Georgia, like, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to see Ole Miss do well, because I do feel bad for their players. But since they're playing Georgia, I can't. I hope they lose by 100. Lou, I'm betting Tulane to beat Georgia. Tulane's not even playing Georgia. But you say a lot of dumb shit. But yeah, Tulane's not playing Georgia. Is school out already for Christmas time, or what's going on with some of this shit in the comments section? Should I hide this person or just put them in timeout for an extended period of time? We'll just put them in timeout. Here's the kick from Washington. It's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Boise State's going to have a minute 17. They're on their own 25. They've got all 3 timeouts. They're down 24-3. I want to see Georgia versus Ohio State. Yeah, I get a feeling that would be a lot of people would watch that, I think, just because 2 big brands, probably the best 2 programs in college football right now. I'm not talking about this year's teams or whatever, but the 2 best programs in college football right now are probably Georgia and Ohio State. Plus, when they played a couple of years ago, it was such a great fucking game. Came down to the end, the missed field goal right at midnight on New Year's Eve. Georgia versus Ohio State would draw a ridiculously high number in terms of TV ratings. There's a lot of people that would love to watch that game. I can't root for Cignetti, great coach, but still a jerk. Yeah, Cignetti is extremely unlikable. Yeah, but he is a great coach. He's a great coach. Boise State quarterback gets sacked. Loss of about 5. It's going to be 3rd and long now for Boise State with about a minute to go in the first half. I've been needing a rematch versus Georgia for 3 years. You've been needing a rematch since every time you've ever played them. You're winless against them all time. It's just not an 18+ channel. Not looking forward to a rematch with Bama. Boomer. I'm picking Oklahoma in that one. I think it's going to be a good game, and either team could win, but you got to pick a winner, and I'm going. It's hard to pick. When a game is that hard to pick, Oklahoma, Bama, I don't see how you don't just go with the home team. The environment is going to be unbelievable. Home playoff game environments are insane. So it's hard for me not to just go with the home team there. I think it's going to be a close, low-scoring game. Fourth and 10, Boise State's going to have to punt it, and there's still a minute to go. Washington, if they want to, they'll have time to go down the field and score again, at least a field goal maybe. They're going to have probably pretty good field position after this punt. All the home teams made it to the semifinals. Texas didn't. Penn State did. Notre Dame did. And Ohio State did. But Texas didn't, did they? Did Texas make it to the semifinals? Texas beat Clemson in round 1 to get to the quarterfinals. No, Texas beat Clemson. No, you're right, because then Texas beat Arizona State in the in the quarterfinals. They beat Clemson in the first round, Arizona State in the quarterfinals. Yeah, so Texas made it to the semis. Ohio State, Notre Dame, and who was the fourth one? Who was the fourth one in the who was in the semifinals? Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State. Yeah, Penn State. First and 10, Washington back to throw, goes deep again, throws it out of bounds that time. Only 24 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 10. Washington just across midfield. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage, but there are flags everywhere. Gain of 8, but this one's probably going to come back. Flags at the line of scrimmage. There's 19 seconds to go. Illegal formation on Washington is going to back them up. So instead of second and 10, it's going to be second and 15. "19 seconds left in the first half. Not a lot of time. They do have 2 timeouts, trying to get into field goal range here. They're on their own 47. And more flags and whistles. Blows to play dead. This is going to be a false start. Boy, Washington going the wrong way here at the end of the first half. Do we know if UJ gets the Peach or Fiesta Bowl if they beat Ole Miss? It's the Fiesta Bowl, I believe. And they're not even going to run another play. That's going to do it. Your halftime score, Washington 24, Boise State 3. So we hit the first half bet. That's good news. So we're going to go from 252 to 352. Up 352 for the week. If UJ wins the Fiesta Bowl, they'll be the first team to win all 6 of the major bowl games, I believe. Yeah, that I'm not sure about. I'd have to research that. So I'll take your word on it for now. I really don't know. Bet the over in the second half. Already have the over for the whole game. I'll let you know. You don't even want to know what it is? Washington gets the ball after halftime, could still get way out of hand in a hurry. Lou, do you bet on the NHL? Every once in a while. Um, but generally, that's like a last resort thing. Like if there's just not that much else on. This time of year, I do more college basketball than I do NHL. Now, when we went to Vegas last January, this worked out great. When we went to Vegas last January, there was, I don't know, 8 of us I think went. Um, and I bought us all tickets to the Vegas Knights game while we were out there. So we all went to the Vegas Knights game when we were in Vegas last January. And before the game, we went to the sports book at the casino we were staying at, and we all bet on Vegas to win the game, and Vegas won. So we ended up going to the game for free. We bet the amount of the tickets, and we won. So basically, we ended up going to the game for free. Now that was fun. Going to a hockey game is fun. Hockey games, and I haven't been to a lot, so I can't say anything about other arenas, but they do a great job at the Vegas Knights game of like keeping the crowd involved in the game. With during the commercial breaks, there's always something going on the ice, or some kind of contest or some kind of chant they get the crowd doing, or it's a lot. It was a lot of fun, that Vegas Knights game. Will UJ have Glover for the playoffs? I have no idea. My guess is if the charges stick, no. If for some reason the charges get thrown out, then of course he would play. But unless there's more to the story, I don't expect him or Bo Walker to play. And honestly, they should be kicked off the team. If there's not more to the story and the charges aren't dropped, then they should be kicked off the team for stupidity. Not even necessarily because they got charged with shoplifting, but in the age of NIL, to be in Walmart shoplifting less than $100 worth of merchandise, you have to be a fucking retard. So for that reason, they should be kicked off the team, unless there's more to the story. And I don't know the story. So if the rest of the story comes out and it was the kind of thing where they're going through the self-checkout and they had 10 items and they ring up 9 of them, but forgot to ring up the 10th one or something, and I don't know. I'm not saying that's what happened. I've got no idea. If it's cut and dry, they walked into Walmart and stole something, and it's that simple, then they should be kicked off the team. All right, let's see what the over-under is for the second half, if it's been released yet. The over-under for the second half is 27. 27 is the over-under for the second half. Let me fill up my water. I'll be right back. Nicholas DePerno, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm very interested to see Texas Tech, Oregon first round. May suck, but I think the second round is going to be awesome. Yeah, Texas Tech and Oregon would be a great game. That would be a great game. I'm fixing to check the thumbs up, and I hope I don't have to rage quit. I feel like it could be a little better. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it could be probably into like the 260 range. We gotta get the likes up, y'all. Or I'm gonna have no choice but to get really, really mad and rage quit. I hope I don't have to do that. Rage quit like Notre Dame. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to opt out of the second half of this stream. I think both of those games will be good. I'm a little more interested in the Texas A&M Miami game just because the Bama Oklahoma games are rematch. So we've seen that, but I think both games will be really good. I've never been to Philly. No. I've been to New York City a bunch of times. I've been to Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut, and I've been to New York City a bunch of times. But I haven't been, and I've been to Washington D.C. a couple of times, but I haven't been to like Philly or Boston. Tulane versus Ole Miss could be good. Yeah, I don't know. Ole Miss beat them 45-10 once already this year. Did you watch a Kennesaw State game this year? Only the conference championship game. That's it. Texas A&M edge rushers will have Carson seeing ghosts. That's a possibility if Miami can't protect him. But Miami's got an NFL offensive line. That's going to be a good matchup. The Miami offensive line against the Texas A&M defensive front. Winner of the A&M versus Miami game will be loaded onto helicopters and be ferried to South Bend to take a dump on the stadium. Tennessee plays Kennesaw next season. Tennessee will beat them by 40, like they always do to those nobody teams. And they'll think they're really, really good, and then they'll get to the SEC games and score 24 points a game. Georgia will beat the two nobodies they play in the beginning of the season by 20 or so points. Tennessee will beat Kennesaw by 40. Tennessee fans will run around thinking that means something. Everybody will tell me Georgia's not any good because they only beat Austin Peay by 20. Then Georgia will be in the playoffs at the end of the year, and Tennessee will be with the wait till next year speech. You know, pretty much exactly what happened this year. How about South Carolina having to play Georgia and Clemson in back-to-back weeks at the end of the season next year? Brutal. Brutal for South Carolina. South Carolina's in for a rough year next year. South Carolina's in for a rough one next year, I think. Florida fans want Tulane to win. Yeah, they're living vicariously through Tulane. That's how down Florida is right now. Uh, we need Boise State to score in the second half, Joe, because Washington's going to put it in cruise control if they keep a lead this big. So we need Boise State to come up with some offense if we want to hit that over. I'm playing with house money. We hit the first half -6. So, I mean, I still want to win, but at least I'm playing with house money now. Bowl games get weird and high scoring in the fourth. I hope so. I have a general rule of betting the over in bowl games. Not that I bet the over in every bowl game, but especially these low and mid-level bowl games. If Tulane happens to beat Ole Miss, will they blame it on Kiffin? Of course they will, except for that one Ole Miss fan that keeps calling into my show and telling me that losing Lane Kiffin is not going to have any effect at all on the team. None. Zero. The minute, if Ole Miss were to lose, that guy would change his tune so quick it would make your head spin. Why do you bet the over in bowl games? Because teams tend to go for it more often. I don't know. With the opt-outs, you get less defense generally than you do in the regular season. But only in the low and mid-tier bowl games. That doesn't apply to the playoffs, obviously. What was the first mini helmet you got besides the Georgia one? I really don't remember because I bought the first 4 or 5 myself, and then people started asking me, you know, hey, I'm an Ole Miss fan. Can I send you an Ole Miss helmet? Stuff like that. So I don't really remember the order that I got them in. And that was a long time ago. That was 5 years ago when I started with the helmets. Where can we send gifts to you? Unfortunately, nowhere right now. I had a P.O. box, but I moved about a year and a half ago. I had the P.O. box. It was a prepaid up P.O. box, but it was on the other side. Once I moved, it was on the other side of town. It's like over a 30-minute drive for me to get to that P.O. box. So I let it expire, and I haven't gotten a new one. Who's going to take Glover's place on the offensive line? Well, he's only the starter because of injuries. So hopefully with 3 weeks off, they can get some of those players back. Tulane Ole Miss game on TNT. Yeah. One game a year on TNT every year, first round. Last year, too. Who ends up at Michigan? I think Jed Fish. I've got no idea because I think there are some people that under normal conditions would take that job, but right now would not take it. So I don't know who's going to end up saying yes. I don't know. It's a complete mess there right now. They launched an internal investigation today that's probably going to end up with Ward Manuel losing his job, the athletic director. So it's just a mess there. So I don't know who they're going to get to say yes. I have no idea. Yeah, go Dogs. Who's going to be the replacement for the weird backlist? I don't know. Somebody's guaranteed to come off of it though, because Texas A&M and Miami are playing. So whoever wins that game is off the list. So that'll be up to y'all to figure out who replaces them. Ah, damn. 10 degrees here Monday morning. Yeah, that's too fucking cold. My happy ass will be right inside this house. Miami, Texas A&M, 9 a.m. kickoff. No, it's not. No, it's not a 9 a.m. kickoff. West Coast time, maybe, if there's a noon game. Not 9 a.m. East Coast time. Not 9 a.m. Texas A&M time. Love the hat, Lou. Get you one. Everybody should have one, to be honest. Buy yourself a Christmas present. Here you go. There you go. Get you one. Click that link. All right, here comes the kickoff to start the second half. No, the game's not at 9 a.m. unless you're on the West Coast, in which case it wouldn't be weird that it was at 9 a.m. because there's 9 a.m. games on the West Coast every single week. I lived in Hawaii once. The time zone difference sucked. Yeah, that would be terrible for watching football. All right, Washington with the ball to start the third quarter, up 24-3. We won the first half bet, Washington -6. The only other bet we have is over 53 points. If they score 27 points in the second half like they did in the first half, we'll hit it. That'd be 54. Washington keeps it on the ground for no gain. Going to be 2nd and 10. People are even talking 24 teams. Only the Big Ten. The Big Ten is the only conference pushing 24 teams. Second and 10, a little swing pass out in the flat, picks up about 4 yards. Going to be 3rd down now for Washington. What happened to Jacob Eason-Christ? He bounced around the NFL for a few years, but I don't even think he's on a practice squad anymore. But I could be wrong because I don't keep up with the NFL. Third and 6 for Washington, up 24-3 here. First possession of the third quarter. They're on the 34. Back to throw. Going to take off running and pick up the first down to the 43-yard line. Took a big hit, but picked up the first down. 1st and 10, Washington. Eason is in an office job now. I added him on LinkedIn. Washington went deep. Just out of reach of the intended receiver. Falls incomplete. That was a long one down all the way inside the 10-yard line. Going to be 2nd and 10 now. The King of the Jews wishes you and the lady a happy Hanukkah. Yeah, happy Hanukkah, Celine. Doesn't that start tomorrow? I think that starts tomorrow. Happy Hanukkah, buddy. 2nd and 10 now for Washington. Handoff. Breaks a tackle, spin move. There he goes. Big gain inside the 35 all the way down to the 33. Gain of about 30 yards for Washington. They're in business in their first possession here in the second half. Up 24-3. They're going to have the ball 1st and 10 inside the 35. Latest article, I think, talks about more offering OnlyFans models tickets in exchange for favors. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. It's a pretty good deal. If you got access to high-level college football tickets, that's a pretty good deal. Play action pass, 1st and 10. Going deep again. Caught. Touchdown, Washington. They are steamrolling Boise State. It's going to be 31-3. Oh, shit. Okay, the touchdown counts. After the play, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But the touchdown will count. That's all we care about because we need to hit this over. Boy, my head is so congested. I can't stand it. I can't hear any. From here over is completely clogged. The whole right side of me. I can't hear shit out of my right ear. I don't know what the fuck is going on. What can I do to unclog my ears, y'all? I ought to time you out for asking a question about Lagway and the Heisman next year. Did you watch him play? He's fucking garbage. Now, could he get way better next year? I guess miracles happen. But talking about Lagway and the Heisman after the garbage fucking year he just had is one of the dumbest things anybody can ask. Yeah, I know. I can't get sick. No, I took a hot shower right before I came on here, and that didn't help. I even did the thing where I closed off all the doors and didn't turn the fan on in there and let it steam up, but that didn't help. It feels like it wants to pop, but it won't. Plug up your nose. Yeah, I just did that. Medicate yourself. Yeah, but I need you to be more specific though. The candles you put in your ear. What? Blow hard. Well, you're not supposed to blow hard. You can pop your eardrum. You're not supposed to blow hard when you do the close your nose deal. Flonase. Remember, I'm writing that down. Have the lady yell in your ear. Pseudoephedrine. Pseudoephedrine or phenylephrine. Is there like a certain medicine that has that in it, or do I just go to CVS and look for pseudoephedrine? Robitussin. That's cough medicine, isn't it? I don't have a cough. Claritin D, Allegra D, Sudafed. Y'all have to remember, I don't ever take any medicine, so if it's not Tylenol, I don't, I don't know what it is. The only medicine I take is Tylenol. Sudafed is the best. Did I write that down? No. Sudafed. Oh yeah, I did. Sudafed. Pseudoephedrine, Flonase. All right. I'll try some of that tomorrow. Hey, Toot. You coming to look around what's going on in here? There ain't nothing going on. There ain't nothing going on, Toot. It's a commercial on the game. You want to come see me? I did get a new helmet today, though. ETSU. Got that. If you're easily offended, click off the video and come back in 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to click off the video if you're easily offended, or if you're a snowflake. If you're a snowflake or you're easily offended, click off the video, come back in 30 seconds. I'll give you 5 seconds. I've got the cleanest toilets in town. I'm giving that to my ex-father-in-law for Christmas. He's like the biggest. You remember the Trumpy bear? Who remembers the Trumpy bear? I bought him a Trumpy bear for Christmas like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm gonna get him that Trump toilet brush. It's just a joke, so there's no reason to be upset about it. Boise State on the ground now down 31-3. They pick up 3 yards here on first down. Going to be 2nd and 7 now. Make toilets clean again. Yeah, he loves Trump. Incomplete pass on 2nd and 7.
Yep, I caught you. I caught you. Now you gotta come say hi. I caught you. Now you gotta come say hi. Don't you like saying hi to the people? You want to tell them Merry Christmas? Say Merry Christmas. What are you doing? Did you tell them what Santa's bringing you? Santa's bringing her one of those automatic litter boxes that cleans itself. Aren't you excited too? Aren't you excited what you gonna get? Yeah.
Give the kitty a treat. She gets her treats after dinner every day. It's so funny too. It's like you know, the Pavlov's dog thing. Ring the bell, the dog's mouth will water. Every single night we sit down to eat dinner. The cat goes to her treat spot and the dog goes to her treat spot, and they just sit there and wait while we eat dinner because they've been they know they've been trained that they get treats every night after dinner time. So as soon as we sit down at the dinner table to eat, like even the dog, you know how most dogs will be underneath the table while people are eating? Even the dog won't come in there. The dog stands in her spot where she gets her treats, and the cat goes to her spot where the cat gets her treats, and they just sit there and wait while we eat dinner. It's pretty funny. Third and 4 coming up here for Boise State. Still down 31-3. Washington open up a can here. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is Boise State's first possession of the second half. They're on their own 33. Shotgun. Motion. Snap. Back to throw. Looks left. Throws left. Bobbled and dropped. It's going to be 4th and 4. Probably have to punt it away. Lou, will Bama being soft prevent them from beating a team like Indiana if they get past Oklahoma? There's no way I would pick Bama to beat Indiana. Who was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the Heisman? You know what? I don't even know. It's a good question, actually. We started the stream and watched the end of the Heisman ceremony, but as soon as they gave it to Mendoza, I quit paying attention. So does anybody know the order of the voting or whatever? I know Mendoza won it, but I have no idea what the votes were after that. Pavia, Love, Sayin in that order. Okay, so Pavia 2, Love 3, Sayin 4. All right, thanks, Muffin. Bama will lose to Boomer sooner. Yeah, I'm going to pick Oklahoma in that one. I already put a bet in on Oklahoma on that game. I can't trust Bama. And the thing is, with these home playoff games, if you think it's close at all, I don't see how you don't just go with the home team. The home field advantage is already huge in college football, but it's magnified in a playoff scenario. And Alabama's offense has just been so bad the last month of the season. I can't see them going on the road to Norman against that defense and doing much of anything on offense. Thank you, James, for the super chat. Shane Gillis is fucking hilarious. I just had a Bud Light commercial on TV with Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is hilarious. I can't see it, Lou. Can't see what? Did you miss anything? Yes, you did. Lou, you should check out Adam Ray. Is he a stand-up comedian? You should call Ryan Day and tell him that it's perfectly legal to score when you get inside the 10. That is a little strange, Ohio State's red zone issues, right? It's a little strange. All right, Washington with the ball after that Boise State punt. They're up 31-3, 9:47 to go in the third. They're on their own 28 here, 1st and 10. Handoff. Gain of about 5 right up the middle. 2nd down coming up now. Lou was down bad on Indiana in the preseason. So was I, though. Yeah, I think I had him at 5 or 6 wins, something like that. I did the video the other day where I pointed out everything I was wrong about, and that was one of them. Second and 5. Quarterback sweep this time. Trying to get to the corner and does, and then ducks out of bounds after picking up the 1st down. 1st and 10, Washington with about 9 minutes to go in the third. Skeletor with the win over Bama in Norman upcoming. Who is Skeletor? No gain on 1st and 10. Run right up the middle, goes nowhere. Florida beat Florida State. Yes. Wasn't even close. Second and 9 now. 8:20 to go in the third quarter. 28-point lead, 31-3. Washington up big, and they have the ball in their own 40. Play action pass. Steps up in the pocket, now scrambles to his left, squares up and throws out of bounds. Had to throw it away, nowhere to go with the ball. 3rd and 9 coming up now for Washington. Bama fan here. Congrats on the Dogs. Absolute beatdown. I unfortunately had to witness in person. Love the channel, man. Hey, thanks, Tanner. Yeah, it's I appreciate y'all letting Georgia win one every once in a while over y'all. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. 3rd and 9. Shotgun. 3 wide to the top. Back to throw. Looking over the middle. Steps up in the pocket. Is going to be sacked all the way back at the 30. It's going to be 4th and oblivion now. Washington will have to punt it away. Schromo won't receive a buyout. That's right. When you're fired for cause, you're not owed your buyout. Punt returned out across the 25, across the 30 to the 33. Boise State will take over right there, 1st and 10, down 31-3. Michigan should hire Tim the Toolman Taylor. I know he was a Detroit fan. Was he a Michigan fan too? Boise State with a first down across midfield to the 49. We need some points, so doesn't matter to me who scores them. We've got over 53. They're at 34 right now, so we need 3 more touchdowns. I don't care who scores them. Low-key Goth. Thank you for the super chat. He says, what a miserable year for my Broncos. Without a legit quarterback, we're a poverty program. I miss Taylon Green and Ashton Worthington Smithton. On to dominating the Pac-12. Yeah, moving to the Pac-12 next year, right? I forgot Taylon Green came from there. He had a big year at Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas was a garbage can, but look, half the games Arkansas lost, they had like 500 yards of offense and still lost. Wasn't because of Taylon Green. 2nd and 8 for Boise State, coming up on 6 minutes to go in the third. We need points. They're on the Washington 48. Shotgun, snap, back to throw. Steps up in the pocket, but is going to be sacked back at midfield for a loss of about 3 or 4. 3rd and long coming up now for Boise. I saw the national championship trophy yesterday, says Jack Burton. Brian Kelly will not be the head coach at Michigan, says Dave's here. Thank you, Low-Key, for the super chat. Yeah, rough year for Boise State. They did win the conference again, though. Beat my UNLV Rebels. 4 wide for Boise on 3rd and long. Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage. Tries to set up a screen. Not enough room. Gets down to the 45. Got to be 4th and 5 now. Probably have to go for it. They're on the Washington 45, looking at a 4th and 5. Diddy to be next Michigan coach? Yeah, I don't think so. They need to hire somebody squeaky fucking clean. Damn, I wish my ears would pop. Empty backfield. Washington jumped. That should be a first down for Boise State. Washington jumped off sides. I did see Trump's coin flip. Offsides on Washington gives Boise State the first down. Watch Landman from your request. Was looking for something to get this weekend with no good football. Didn't plan to binge watch it all in 3 days. Great show. It is a great show. I hate that it comes on a weekly basis, though, because, you know, once you get caught up to season 3, which is coming out now, they're only putting 1 episode out a week. I hate that. But it is a good show. Boise State on 1st and 10. Has to throw it away. Out of bounds. Going to be 2nd and 10. Dave Portnoy is hiring himself as Michigan head coach. You know, he probably would if he thought he could get away with that. He probably would. Second and 10 for Boise State on the Washington 40. We need them to find some offense here. Another pass behind the line of scrimmage. Pretty good defense from Washington, though. They only pick up about 3 yards. 3rd and long now for Boise. They're close to field goal range, but field goal is not doing you much good down 31-3. The oil field industry is not what it used to be. I've been working in the industry for 25 years. Move on down to Venezuela. The oil industry is about to be booming down there because guess who's moving in? Oh, I forgot. That doesn't have anything to do with oil. It's got nothing to do with oil. Yeah, drugs. Yeah, that's it. Drugs. Yeah, got to stop the drugs. That's what I meant to say. Josh Pate to Michigan. Florida should have hired Josh Pate. He's already their biggest cheerleader. Fourth and 5, they're going to go for it again, Boise State is. Drew Washington off sides last time. Probably not going to get that lucky this time. Going to have to run a play. Back to throw. First down inside the 25, out of bounds at the 21. Boise State in the red zone. We need a Boise State touchdown here. Actually, it's not just oil, but also the rare earth minerals too. Did we seize a tanker full of rare earth minerals? And I'm unaware of it. But I agree with you, though. But it's not about drugs or spreading democracy or WMDs. It's about oil and things that can make us money. It's about us involving ourselves in places where we ain't got no business being per normal. We're down there to rob and steal all of their natural resources. I mean, that's you can call it war, but that's why we're there. Second and 10 for Boise State. Handoff up the middle goes nowhere. Going to be third and 10. Another 4th and 5. This is the third straight 4th and 5 for Boise State. The first one they got Washington to jump off sides. The second one they converted on a pass. This is their third 4th and 5 in a row. Can they pick it up again? They're on the 17. They need to get to the 12. Bunch formation. Shotgun. Motion. We need them to pick it up and score. Throws incomplete. Looks like the receiver never saw the ball. He didn't even stick his hands out. Looks like the receiver never even saw it. Turnover on downs. That's not good. All that did was waste 7 minutes off the clock with no points. Diego Poverty was runner-up Heisman. Yes. Streaming all 4 playoff games on YouTube next weekend, y'all. So, Alabama and Oklahoma on Friday night, right? That's the Friday night game, I believe. Alabama and Oklahoma. And then all 3 games on Saturday, I'll be streaming here on YouTube. So if y'all want to hang out and watch the games, you know where I'll be. Right here on LouTube. For you. Is that Notre Dame or FSU helmet on the Your Season is Over wall? That's Notre Dame. Besides Herschel Walker, who's the greatest Georgia Bulldog to ever play? Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I could say a best or second best. I mean, I can just name a bunch of names that would be in everybody's top 10. I don't know about the second best. I will be picked up from noon to midnight for playoffs. Matthew Stafford. He was good. He's not an all-time great at Georgia. Now, he's had an unbelievable NFL career. No doubt about it. He might be, well, he probably is one of the most successful NFL players to ever come out of Georgia, but he didn't have like top 5, top 10 success college-wise at Georgia. Todd Gurley's the best football player I've ever seen play football with my own eyes in person. I'm not talking about watching on TV. Todd Gurley's the best football player I've ever seen in real life. The guy's unbelievable. Whenever Stetson Bennett starts, I think he will ball out in the NFL. He's not starting in the NFL. I never saw Tebow play. End of the third quarter. And unfortunately for us, there was only 7 points scored. We need more points. I don't care anything about college basketball. I don't watch college basketball unless I'm betting on it. I couldn't name a single in fact I can't name a single college basketball player right now. Thank you, Antonio. I appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Go watch his preseason games with the Rams and say you don't think Bennett could. Did you just say preseason? Ah, damn, you're retarded. We're gonna get you into college hoops, Lou. Well, it's not that I don't like it. It's just, uh, I don't know. I like March Madness, but I can't watch college basketball regular season unless I'm betting on it. Boy, y'all are getting awfully retarded in the comments section. Preseason. Preseason MVP, man. Preseason MVP. Build a statue. Build that man a statue. All right, start of the fourth quarter, 31-3. If we don't get some points on this next drive, we're going to shut it down because we're not going to hit that bet if they don't start scoring. Thank you for the super chat, but I'm done reading the Stetson Bennett taint sniffing comments. Third and 13. Back to throw. Under pressure. Gets away. Throws it up for grabs. Out of bounds and incomplete. 4th and 13. Washington's going to be punting from their own end zone. If Boise State doesn't score, we're going to call it quits. Washington gets the punt away. Fair catch called and made at the 47. So Boise State's going to have good field position. Let's see if they can do something with it. Down 31-3 with 14:45 to go. First and 10. Play action. Where is he throwing that? Boise State doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, he threw that in the middle of nowhere. 2nd and 10. Is Michigan going to get Dillingham? I don't know. I don't know anything you don't know. So I have no idea. Second and 10 on their own 47. Empty backfield this time. Shotgun. 5 wide. Whistles. What the fuck, man? Boise State is a steaming fucking pile. Delay a game. Boise State's a steaming fucking pile. I thought the Army-Navy game was a great game earlier. Well, the last 5 minutes were great. That shit got tense in the last 5 minutes or so of that game. Navy kept fumbling the ball, but recovering it. And they had that one play where they fumbled twice on the same play, but he was down the second time. Back to throw. Caught on a seam route. Inside the 30, down to the 29. Boise State in the red zone again, but shit, they were down here a minute ago and came away with no points. Wilkie, I'm still around, mostly ignored, but still around. Uh-oh. Poor pitiful me routine from Celine Driver. Nobody ignores me. Nobody likes me. Come on, man. What you talking about? Boise State hits a big play, and right on cue, there's another fucking penalty. So back that shit up. Boise State is dog shit. $14 to go in the game. Back to throw. Complete behind the line. Shoved out of bounds after a short gain of a couple of yards. 13:53 to go. Bennett can't be a starter, but Tua can. Probably has something to do with Tua being a much better NFL quarterback than Stetson Bennett. That would be, I mean, that's probably has a lot to do with it. Another 3-yard gain for no reason. 3rd and long coming up. Empty backfield. 3rd and 8. Fuck around and get another delayed game with all this moving pieces around bullshit like a chessboard. Back to throw. Caught. All the way down to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, Boise State. Well, they just won't give up, will they? Boise State just won't throw in the towel, man. They just keep trying. 3rd and 8, they don't give a fuck. 30-yard gain down to the 5-yard line. Okay, back to throw again. You're going to get sacked now. Interception in the end zone. I mean, why would you throw that? What are you doing, man? You throw the ball up for grabs. There's 4 Washington players standing around, man. What are you doing? I mean, that's some 5-star dummy shit. That's the kind of shit Stetson Bennett would do if he was starting in the NFL. What the fuck? God damn, man. Boise State's been inside the red zone twice in the last 4 minutes and hadn't scored a single fucking point. God damn, out here with the Stetson Bennett in the NFL routine, man. What are you doing? Yeah, we're not hitting this over. Oh, shit. This guy says GD like he doesn't care. I don't fucking care. God damn, man. What's the problem? Words hurt your feelings, man. You're in the wrong spot, buddy. If words hurt your feelings, you need to click off and never come back. Somewhere in South Georgia, people are crying for Stetson. Never-ending commercial break now after that interception. This is a sports chat. We talk shit, says Schizo Tendencies. Perry, Georgia is God's country. Never been there. Lou, did you ever watch WWE? I watched it a little bit when I was a kid, like real young. And then in college, we used to watch it every Monday night. We used to watch the whatever it was, Monday Nitro, and what was the other one? Monday Night Raw. for a couple of years in college, but I haven't watched it since, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s. Where is Perry, Georgia? I have no idea. It sounds like one of those little, like, towns in the middle of Georgia somewhere. Who is FSU suing? Everybody. Everybody. All right, 1st and 10, Washington on their own 20 after that interception in the end zone. And sacked for no gain. Has Michigan surpassed Florida as being the program in the most disarray? Well, Florida, Michigan, LSU, they're all battling for biggest embarrassment program right now. Fumble. I think recovered by Boise. Boy, this game's getting sloppy as shit here in the 4th quarter. There's only been one touchdown scored the whole second half. That's the only points we've had. Nothing but turnovers and going for it on 4th down and not getting it, and just a bunch of other fucking dog shit. Just want to shout out 300 likes and 321 viewers. Good shit. Yeah, that's a ratio I can live with right there. Mewtwo. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Good to see you in here. They changed the Bama and OU game to prime time. Is it that the Friday night game? It was always prime time. I mean, or am I wrong? Is that not the Friday game? Now Boise State throws an interception. And the guy gets tackled by the grass at the 10-yard line. Yeah, the Alabama-Oklahoma game was always prime time. It didn't get changed to prime time. It always was prime time. That's the Friday game. The college football playoff schedule for the first round is 1 game on Friday night and 3 games on Saturday. And the Bama-Oklahoma game's the Friday game, so it was always prime time. This quarterback for Boise State is an absolute steaming fucking pile. Here comes the touchdown you were asking for. Yeah, but I need 3 of them. That's the problem. I need 3 touchdowns, man. All right, 1st and goal at the 10. Pass complete. Nope. Dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Literally just dropped for no reason. Boise State has the greatest QB on the planet. Yeah, this guy's lighting it up. He's got more completions to the other team than he does his own. Does Perry, Georgia have a street light? I've got no idea. I don't think I've ever been there. Maybe I've driven through there, but I don't even know where it is. Is that the Notre Dame hell on your season is over? Well, yeah, their season's over. They don't got no more games to play. So they can't even say, our season ain't technically over. What are you talking about, our season? Yeah, it is, dummy. It's literally over. You don't play any more games. Double pass from Washington. Goes nowhere. Gain of 4. God damn, man. They're up 28 points out here with the trick plays and the red zone bullshit. What's the population of Augusta? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. It's the second biggest city in Georgia. Indiana is still going, so it's nowhere near the size of Atlanta, but it's bigger than Savannah or Macon or whatever else. I'm not sure what the population is. Augusta is trash. I don't know. I like Augusta. It's pretty nice. It's getting late. Let me take my Glock out the microwave. What does that even mean? I don't think you should be handling firearms. Honestly. You're the type of person, you're the reason why we need red flag laws. We're going to end up not getting a touchdown here because that guy got tackled by the grass on the 10-yard line when there was nobody around him. I'll take Jackson Arnold at this point. I think he announced he's entering the portal again. Here you go. So these are just the actual city limits. So obviously there's more than 500,000 people that live in the Atlanta area. There's probably closer to 2 million people that live in the Atlanta area, but a lot of them live in the suburbs. Augusta's the same way. Probably close to 1 million people, I would say, in the like greater Augusta area. What do they call it? CSRA? They don't call it greater Augusta area. They call it CSRA. Central Savannah River area. 767,000 people in 2018. It's probably close to 1 million now. Fort Gordon has, the population here has grown a lot in the last 4 or 5 years because the military base here has expanded so much. There's a big, well, the NSA, the biggest listening post in the world in Fort Gordon. What do you mean, do I support Jim Knowles? What does that mean? Touchdown. Yay! Somebody finally scored again. It's going to be 38-3 now. Do you support Buc-ee's? I guess not. I mean, I've never been to one, so I guess I don't. At least I don't financially support it, I guess, since I've never been to one. Jim Knowles is going to die at Penn State. That's going to be hard to do since he's the DC at Tennessee now. I only went to the drag boat races once, but they used to have, I don't even know what they're called. They're not the drag races. They literally go in an oval. It was called, what was that called? It was called River Race Augusta. They used to have River Race Augusta. It's different than the drag boat races. I went to those races for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years in a row when I was a kid. My parents' best friends at the time owned a liquor store in town, and the liquor store had that liquor store had the contract to sell alcohol at River Race Augusta, so we would go down there every year. But I think I did go to the drag races once. I used to live in Atlanta 20 years ago. Has grown a lot since, I think, 6 million in the metro. Have you ever been around Lake Lanier? No. I know, I mean, I'm familiar with Lake Lanier, but I've never been there. Lake Lanier is haunted. Yeah, I've seen those articles and stuff about Lake Lanier. 1st and 10, Boise State pass incomplete. 10:37 to go. We would need like a pick 6, which is possible because this Boise State quarterback is absolute dog shit. But if we're going to hit this or have any chance of hitting this over, we're probably going to need a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. Handoff. Gain of 6. 3rd and 4 coming up. Did Pavia get snubbed for the Heisman? No. Third and 4. Just under 10 minutes to go in the game. They're down fucking 38-3. Come on, man. Throw another interception. I dare you. Here we go with the whistle routine again. Got to stop the play, call a flag, penalty. Group of 5 needs their own thing. They need their own playoff for sure. For sure. Third and 9 after that penalty. Now would be a great time to throw an interception. Back to throw. Gets rid of it. Caught up near the 40. 1st down, Boise State. Lou, I'm sleepy. Have you tried laying down and closing your eyes? Sometimes that'll put you to sleep. And that's the only cure for sleepiness, is to go to sleep. Lou, did you read that article on TigerNet calls you a jerk? He is an embarrassing Georgia fan. I don't read TigerNet. This channel has the best ball knowledge of any channel. You have to sift through the mistreating and the trolling. That's a pretty good way to put it there. That's a pretty good way to put it. They threw an interception? God damn. I missed it reading the chat. We were just talking about that. He threw another interception. God dang. I could have swore I've heard Lou say good things about Knowles. I think Jim Knowles is an elite defensive coordinator. I think he's a big part of why Ohio State won that natty. A big part. Lake Lanier ranks #1 most deaths of any lake in the U.S. every year. Tennessee may have an elite defense then. Better find some defensive backs somewhere, because you ain't got none. He's a good defensive coordinator. He's not a miracle worker. Ohio State had 8 NFL starters on their defense when Jim Knowles turned it around. I don't know how many Tennessee's got. That's really what it is. He had a lot to work with. So did the defensive coordinator before that, and it didn't seem to matter. So I don't buy this sour grapes routine from the Ohio State fans just because Jim Knowles gave them one of these and went to Penn State. Ohio State was scoring 50 points a game in 2021, 2022, and 2023 and couldn't win a natty. Why? Defense. 2024, they scored 30 points a game, way less points, and won a natty. Why? Defense. Defense. Tim Banks went to Auburn. Well, dog shit on deck at Auburn then. All right, Washington's got the Woozies in the game, Joe. So they're probably not going to score. They got backup quarterbacks and all the fucking scrubs in the game. Chunking it deep, though. Almost intercepted again. He tried to throw an interception, boy. Yeah, they got all the Woozies in the game, man. They don't know that give-up routine. Second and 10. Back to throw again. Complete on a slant. Picks up a first down out the midfield. What's up, Bryce? Wonder how many sunk boats and cars are in Lanier. No idea. No idea. 8.5 minutes to go. We need, by some miracle, 2 more touchdowns to be scored. Play action. Sacked for a 40 or 50-yard loss. I'm exaggerating, but only a little bit. It's about a 20-yard loss for real. It would be so good for college football if Day went to Michigan. Yeah, that's not happening. 2nd and 21. Dang. Snap. Handoff. Goes nowhere. They're going to lose yards again. Well, somehow turned it into about a 5-yard gain. All BS aside, who's the champ this year, Lou? Hey, man, I don't know. I think Ohio State, Indiana, and Georgia have the best chances of winning it. I don't know about Texas Tech. I mean, I think Texas Tech is good, but I don't know if they can win it all. Flag down. Under 7 minutes to go. Offsides on Boise State. Washington gets another shot at third down here. If you're ever around Flowery Branch, I'll take you for a boat ride. Bryce, thank you for the super chat. Says, is everybody okay this weekend? No divorces or breakups. I assume we have all completed our chores list this weekend as planned. Yeah, I'm doing all my chores right now. Actually, I have to do my chores tomorrow. We got to get the house all cleaned up tomorrow. We're having a white elephant Christmas party over here tomorrow. Pass on 3rd and 9 falls incomplete. Going to be 4th down. RIP to the Augusta Hooters. Yeah, tore it down. The Augusta National bought that entire shopping center. They're eventually going to buy everything from the golf course to the interstate. Washington's going to punt it away. Fair catch called and made at the 6-yard line. 1st and 10, Boise State on their own 6. Even the Georgia Tech Sports Message Board has written articles about you recently. Impressive. Twin Peaks better than Hooters. The food is better for sure. There's no doubt about it. The food at Hooters was always dog shit. I don't care what anybody. Oh, the wing. They have great wings. No, they don't. Hooters wings have always been and are still complete and total fucking dog shit. The food at Hooters is jail food. It's fucking horrible. I've only been to Twin Peaks, I think, twice, but the food there is way better. Boise State keeps it on the ground, picks up 1st down, gain of 11. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the game. You worked at Twin Peaks for 5 years, says Michael Sprague. Would you wear your little schoolgirl outfit up there? What'd you wear up there? The cheerleader costume on the weekends? Hooters is a booth. Lou, remember when that guy that works at Walgreens of all places was trying to clown you for being self-employed? There's nothing wrong with work. Look, I don't give a shit where somebody works. I'm not going to clown anybody for where they work. Having any job at all is better than not having a job. It's just funny when people get on here with the "you don't have a real job" speech to me, because I make 4 times what they make by doing something I love to do, and they put the fries in the bag 20 hours a week and they hate it. That's not my fault. OU is about to unleash some shit on the playoffs. What are they going to do? Get a first down? That would be amazing if they somehow managed to do that. Fourth and 6, and of course, Boise State will go for it on their own 20. Going deep. Overthrown. Turnover on down. Nope, flag down. I think Washington jumped off sides. TB, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here, my man. Merry Christmas. Is it true that people are mistreating Uncle Lou? They better not to. They better not be, because that's a hard and fast rule. We of course don't allow that around here.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
That kid will come to your house, bang on your door, and demand that you quit mistreating me. Fourth and 1 after Washington jumped off sides on the 4th and 6 play. So a handoff, and they pick up the first down. All right, I'm going to get out of here. There's 4 minutes left in the game, 38-3. This thing's over. And I got a busy day tomorrow. I got a video I got to do in the morning, and then I got to spend all day getting ready for this. We're having a Christmas party over here tomorrow night. One of these white elephant parties. Y'all ever been to one of those before? They're pretty fun. We normally do it at my brother's house every year, but we're doing it over here this year. So we got to get the house in order tomorrow. So I do have a busy day tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight. Shout out to Washington and whatever Washington fans may or may not exist somewhere on this planet. We went 1-1 on our bets on this game. We hit first half -6, Washington -6. That was a winner. We had over 53 points. That's obviously going to be a loser. So we went 1-1 betting the game today, but we're still up for the week. Let's see. We are up. We're up $350, but we're going to lose $100 on the over 53. So we're really up $250 for the week. But hey, shit, that's better than being down. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. If for some reason I don't talk to you before then, but I'll be live for all 3 playoff games next weekend right here on YouTube. The Friday night game and then all 3 Saturday games. So come hang out next weekend. Let's watch some playoff football, and y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend.